Okay, let's go.
So let's talk about wealth. We usually think of it as just, dollars and cents, but what if it's more than that? What if wealth is actually the difficulty setting for life? We're going to break down every single level, from complete survival mode all the way up to God mode. So let me ask you this, right off the bat. If your life were a video game, what setting are you playing on? Are you grinding for every last resource? Or, hey, maybe you've got a few cheat codes up your sleeve? Because, let's be real, the difference is huge. On one side, you've got ultra hard mode, just a constant uphill battle for survival. And on the other, easy mode, where you have so many resources, you're not just playing the game anymore, you're basically shaping the world itself. So let's start at the very, very bottom. We'll call these the survival levels. This is where the goal isn't really winning, it's just trying not to get that dreaded game over screen. And level 1 is extreme poverty. This is that ultra hard mode we were just talking about. It's like being dropped into a game for the very first time with zero skills, no gear, and absolutely no tutorial to help you out. And check out this number. You're living on less than $2.15 a day. I mean, think about that. That's less than what a lot of us spend on our morning coffee. And for millions of people, that's their entire budget for everything. And this goes way beyond just being short on cash. We're talking about the absolute basics. Food, clean water, a safe place to sleep. None of it is a guarantee. And what if you get sick? A trip to the doctor isn't even in the vocabulary. It is a non-stop uphill battle. All right, let's climb up one small step from that constant battle. The next level up is poverty. You're a little bit above the absolute bottom, but believe me, the struggle is still very, very real. This quote just nails the feeling perfectly. You're playing the game, sure, but it feels like the rules are completely rigged against you. Every time you think you're getting ahead, bam, another setback. It makes it almost impossible to build any kind of momentum. Now, here's a really important idea to get your head around: relative poverty. This means you might have enough to eat, you might have a roof over your head, but you're still basically cut off from the society around you. Think about it. All your friends are on their smartphones, sharing stuff online, and you're stuck with an old Nokia. You're alive, but you're not really part of the conversation. Okay, so let's keep climbing the ladder and move into what we'll call the comfort zone. This is where the game changes. It's less about pure survival and more about careful management, about finding a sense of balance. We'll start with the lower middle class, and I love this description. They're experts at min-maxing. If you're a gamer, you know what that means. It's all about making the absolute best choices with the limited resources you have. It's a life of super careful planning and smart decisions just to make sure everything's covered. Next up, you've got the classic middle class. This is the Goldilocks zone. Not too rich, not too poor. Life's pretty comfortable. You've got a steady job, but you're still very aware that a few wrong moves could put you on a ramen noodle diet for a week. And right at the top of this zone, we find the upper middle class. The best way to think about it is like you're on an airplane. You're not stuck back in economy, but you're not quite in first class sipping champagne either. You're in business class. You've got room to stretch, but you're definitely still keeping an eye on the budget. And this table just lays it all out, right? You see the shift. For the lower middle class, life is modest. For the middle, it's comfortable. For the upper middle, it's premium. And look at security. It goes from savings are absolutely vital to we can handle a surprise expense, all the way to we're actively planning to build more wealth. All right, now we're entering a whole new part of the game, the freedom tiers. This is where money stops being about just survival or even comfort. Now it's all about choice. When you're affluent, you have a serious financial cushion. You're not just living, you're enjoying the good stuff. Fine dining, real vacations, maybe you're even buying art or a second home. But the key thing, the most important thing here, is that your wealth gives you options. It gives you freedom. Then you get to the upper affluent. Honestly, this is like finding the golden ticket. You can pretty much skip the lines and enjoy any ride you want without even glancing at the price tag. Your financial cushion isn't just a cushion anymore. It's more like a giant luxury mattress. And now, we've reached the final levels. The end game. This is where the game totally transforms. Wealth is no longer about your lifestyle. It becomes a tool for power, for global influence. But wait, before we jump in, we gotta understand a key term:
net worth. This isn't just about the cash you have. It's the total value of everything you own, stocks, property, businesses, minus everything you owe. This is how the score is really kept at these top levels.
So you might wonder, what's the big difference between a millionaire and a multimillionaire? Well, a millionaire has financial security, which is amazing. But a multimillionaire, they have financial freedom. Their choices aren't driven by what they need to do, but by what they want to do. They can fund that passion project or start a whole new career just because they can.
And then there's the final boss, the billionaire. Here's an analogy for you. If a millionaire owns a super fancy sports car, a billionaire owns the entire racetrack, the racing team, and probably the whole league.
Just to put that number into perspective, because it's kind of insane, imagine you have $1 billion and you decide to spend $1,000 every single day. It would still take you almost 3,000 years to run out of money. It's a level of wealth that is it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. So there we have it. We've gone all the way from living on about $2 a day to a fortune so massive it would take millennia to spend. I mean, it is a truly mind-boggling spectrum of human experience.
And that really leaves us with one final big question. As you climb this ladder of wealth, are you just getting better at playing the game? Or do you eventually get to a level where you get to write the rules for everybody else? Definitely something to think about.